Hi, in this video I will talk you through 10 different journals that I am thinking might be good to use as a reading journal. There's 3 160 GSM, a 120 GSM, 2 100 GSM journals, and then 4 80 GSM journals. 2 of them are Leuchtturm, so they're pretty much the same. But yeah, so 10 journals altogether that I'm going to talk through the pros and cons of how they'll be as a reading journal. This is part 2 of a 2-part series. The first part talked about all the layouts that I'm considering to put in the journal, and then this video is just going through the actual journal choice. I review journals, and so I have a lot of random journals. Now, I also wrote in those notes in that other journal what I was looking to do, and I think I want to do it in a collage style. Okay, so this journal from years ago this is my Mindful Giraffe journal from 21-22, if you want to see the flip through, and this is collage style. This is what I'm talking about, where you have different papers and stickers and stamps and washi tape, and you just combine it together to create really pretty spreads. So that's the style that I want for my reading journal. But the thing to note about that style is it gets a bit bulky. While I have quite a few 160 GSM page journals, and these are 3 of them, the problem with 160 GSM is that they're thick pages, and once you start adding all this other stuff stuck on, it gets really thick and chunky. And look, sometimes you want a chunky journal, sometimes you don't. The other thing is that because I'm using collage, I'm sticking stuff in, and so I don't need paper that can stand up to tricky mediums like watercolor and stuff. I'm going to be writing in a pen, and I'm going to be using collage stickers and papers. So that means my 160 GSM journals, which are beautiful, are probably not going to suit this purpose, even though they're very pretty. This leaves a pile of journals that are lighter weight. 120 GSM one. This one's really beautiful. I quite like the idea of it as a reading journal. I like the square pages. This is a journal by Emma Kate Co., which is an Australian company based in Melbourne. Absolutely gorgeous journals. I actually think the square format might work quite well. It won't cope as well with getting chunky because it's a reasonably tight fit, and I quite like the idea of using this one as a bullet journal at some stage. So I'm not 100%. I really love this journal, and I think I've got other plans for it. So that's that one. That's 120 GSM. Then my Paperblanks, which is another beautiful journal. This has got 100 GSM paper, bigger pages, which may be too big for the amount of information I want to fit in on each page, I think. And the other thing I'm not sure about with this one is it's 230 pages, which means, you imagine there's a big difference between having a 160 page journal full of collage papers and a 230 page journal full of collage papers. So I'm not sure about this one either. I think this one is just simply too big a page. I think we'll rule that out. I'm not sure. This is my Dingbats journal, another 100 GSM, hardcover. Might cope with getting chunky, but it is also, it's 180 pages, very cream paper. Could be okay as a reading journal. The paper is pretty good though, like for 100 GSM, it coped really well with most things. So I think I'd like to use this as a bullet journal at some stage. With my bullet journals, I like to kind of use 160 GSM, but then I like every now and then to mix it up and do a lighter weight one. Then I've got my two Leuchtturm journals. They're not very pretty in terms of a book journal. Like, you think about, a lot of people's reading journals are usually quite pretty and they've got special designs, but apart from those first two I looked at, I mean, that one's okay, but they're not particularly booky type themes. And the good thing about these is that I could decorate it to look like a booky theme. You can decorate these covers. This is the hardcover one. This is the soft cover one. The soft cover one has 120 pages. This might be a good option. It coped okay with pens and bleed through. It's pretty good. Soft cover is fantastic for journals that are going to get a bit chunky because it just kind of curves out in the round. Whereas with a chunky hardcover, it tends to start sitting open. I'll show you one. So this one was a hardcover, and they just get really thick when you're sticking in a lot of stuff. Lots of things stuck in here. This is my Vivid Scribbles journal. There's also a flip through of this one on my YouTube channel. Yeah, so you can see what I mean. And the problem with hardcovers is when they get chunky, the spine sometimes doesn't cope. This one's gotten quite bashed up. So that's why I am leaning towards, rather than this one, the soft cover, and I could do a beautiful painting. You can use paint pens on there to decorate it and they will stay on pretty well. I suppose you could do a cover, collage cover, and then put a sealer over it to keep it on there. So a few different options there. So I'd probably lean towards that rather than that. Then I've got these two little ones. Now, I've done a review of this one. This is a Kleid string tie notebook, and it's got a spiral bind. So any spreads would have to be on a page or split because of the spiral. I'm not sure what to use this journal for. I do like the square shape. I think this could be a cute way to use it. The journal copes really well. It's designed for fountain pens. It copes pretty well with fountain pens. Here's the fountain pen test here. Yeah, the more juicy fountain pen with dark ink bled through a bit, but generally it's okay. I think it'd be okay for what I used. The best thing about this one is that once I start adding collage papers, you can see there's already room in that binding. So this is definitely up there. It's an unusual choice for a reading journal, but it's also, and look, the other thing about this one is the cover is not very durable. You can see I've damaged it there. If you've got a reading journal, it's not something I'm going to carry around because it's just a record I keep at home. It's definitely not a journal I'd carry around, so that's a good option for this. And then finally is this one, the Caran d'Ache, and I haven't reviewed this yet. It's coming. I've done the pen test already. This is, I think, 120 pages. It's not a bad option. It's a bit stark. I don't know. It's very white pages with quite dark dots. The dot darkness, it's the darkest dots I've had in any book. It shows up until you put black on it. Black Tombow. But it's nice, beautiful paper. It's beautiful for fountain pens, which is what I'd be using to write with. This is my fountain pen test and nothing's come through. So it's beautiful for fountain pens. I don't know, this is in the running. It doesn't look particularly bookish. These are good backup options, and these are probably my leading options, just because this one's a beautiful book on its own, and this one I can decorate to look like a reading journal. I could probably put some decoration on the front, but it's kind of very, very cool at the moment, and I'd probably leave it like that. Yeah, that's where I'm leaning. I'd be interested to know what you think and which journal you would go with. Or would you use one of these? I want to use one I've got already. I don't want to buy a new one. So yeah, I'm interested to see what you think. I recommend you stay posted, because I can assure you that there will be spreads coming soon that are in my new reading journal, and you can see how I've laid it all out. Please like my videos, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you soon. Bye.